I really wish that we were able to play this deck yesterday, but Magic Online was crashing every every moment for like an hour. It was really not functional, and um and I decided that instead of just trying to force my way through it, we would just wait for tomorrow. And it's been working today. I played a match. Everything's normal. The art is loading normally. I didn't really do anything else. I just there was an update that got installed and it seemed to be fixed. This is We're getting very close, if we're not there already, to the final form of the Badgermole combo deck. This is an archetype we've been working on for about 8 months now. It doesn't feel like it's been that long, but I looked back at the very first version when Cub first came out. It's been since November of last year. Um, this is this is an archetype that is very complicated, but very fast and very powerful and very resilient. It's in some ways it's very similar to Badgermole, where the Badgermole deck is also fast, consistent, and resilient. But Badgermole is very easy to play, and this deck is very complicated to play. I have been liking this deck a lot. We started off 4-0-8-0 yesterday in our league, had not lost a single game, and then we lost our trophy match to a Cosmic Fling player who just had it. Actually killed me turn 2 with the Gemstone Caverns with 2 Chancellor of the Annexes in game 2, which was really crazy. I went Gemstone Caverns into plunge into kill you with Goy Fling. And I'll say Shang-Chi has been a much bigger upgrade to this archetype than I expected. A 2-mana Tyvar that makes mana itself. And now you wouldn't expect it to make mana very often, right? Because you don't actually have activated abilities for you to use the Shang-Chi mana on besides the Scavenging Ooze in the sideboard. But if you have a Leyline of Abundance or a Badgermole Cub in play, or an Enduring Vitality or an Ashaya, Shang-Chi actually just does make regular mana. But it unlocks a lot of combos, especially Nantuko on Dryad Arbor. Just the ability to like pop off with that has been really nice, and like this card has just been so strong, and it has added a lot of speed to the deck. I've also really liked the one of Enduring Vitality. This card is very strong with Quirion Ranger, Shang-Chi, Badgermole Cub, Springheart Nantuko. You also have some incidental value with stuff like Lotus Cobra and Ouroboroid, but the Vitality has been, like, I think a card that we should have been playing this whole time. We started playing it because of the Squirrel Girl combo. Squirrel Girl not that good in the deck. I think the combo is not that good either. But the card Enduring Vitality is going to stay in. It's like a mini. It's like an Ashaya that costs 3 mana but doesn't combo with Quirion Ranger, which is pretty good. Now there are a few flex spots that are not 100%, right? So we have. I think you don't have to play. Wait, where is the 4th Summoner's Pact? I was dragging kind of all the flex spots here. You don't have to play the 4th Summoner's Pact. You could play a second Disciple of Freyalise or a Boseiju over the 7th Forest. I decided I wanted to play the 7th Forest because of Nissa Who Shakes the World, because I'm playing 3 copies. But if you played only 2 copies of Nissa Who Shakes the World, and I do think the minimum is 2. I think minimum 2 2 of this. It also combos with Nantuko. Card is very, very just powerful to ramp out. You ramp it out really fast. But if you play just 2, then you're gonna cut a forest more often. I think 3 Shang-Chi is right, but I haven't been playing it enough to know for sure. I think at least 1 for sure, 2 almost for sure, and 3 I think is likely, but maybe not locked in. And so you have a few things you can play in the flex spots. You can play extra copies of a Lotus Cobra. You could play a second Ouroboroid in the main deck if it was that kind of format. You could play a second copy of Ashaya if you wanted. I do think the Formidable Speaker is good. The main purpose of Formidable Speaker is so your Green Sun Zeniths can get you a Springheart Nantuko to your hand, but it's also just a good card to draw. It's just a totally good card to draw. Also, it can discard ley lines in the late game, which is something. The sideboard is also feeling pretty good. I have liked the sideboard Ouroboroids a lot. Again, you could maybe play 1 less. Sideboards are just going to change a lot as the metagame evolves, so maybe we don't need to spend too much time on that. But I'm feeling good about the sideboard at the moment. We're just going to start fresh today. Just going to start a pure league. Very excited about the deck. Kind of disappointed we weren't able to really sink our teeth into it yesterday, but that's okay. We can try it today. Oh, this is a very weird hand. What was my opponent? Hold on, let me think here. I think I'm gonna mulligan, but the hand might be totally fine. I do think I like this hand more. I guess we'll keep just put back the Pact. So I feel like is maybe Affinity gonna have the worst time? It really depends on like what the Boros sideboards look like. Maybe I guess Affinity is good against Gorios, so you have that good matchup. But I think you can be bad against Boros depending on how much respect there is. And I think you're bad against Broodscale, and I think you're very bad against Tron, and I think you're very bad against Titan. Let's see. So maybe I just play 2 copies of Quirion Ranger this turn. No, I think I'll play Nissa and Quirion Ranger. Like having the 3/3 to block the 2/1, right? And if they do have the discharge, I can block the Ranger on the Ragavan. Oh, they didn't discharge turn 1. I think Titan's gonna have a really good time. I think the from what I can see here, Neoform looks like the best choice. There's just not a lot of interactive decks outside of Goryo's. So Ashaya actually triggers the second landfall for Nissa here. So I play land. 3. I guess I'm 1 short, right? But Grixis Reanimator. Grixis is pretty bad against Izzet Affinity. I don't think I think it's good against Boros. I think it's probably not that good against Broodscale. It's probably weak against Tron. Weak against Esper Gorios. Weak against Amulet Titan. Probably good against Izzet Prowess. Yeah, probably not a great choice. What am I doing here? Let's lock in a little bit. So I could go play land, get not slumbering trudge, get Badgermole Cub, and then I would play land, use the 2 mana floating here. Then I have enough to I should have enough to win after that. You can play a Shy, you get the landfall mana. Well, right now if I get the landfall mana, this is sorry. I did just miscount. I thought this was 4. I even counted the Ranger. I did just miscount. Okay, well this makes it way easier. Okay, so I mean this is just a win. Sorry. Every time we play the Quirion Ranger, we get to make a mana because it's a land entering for our landfall. And we are we just have infinite mana with 2 tutors in our hand. I guess the easiest way to win is just to show them Craterhoof Behemoth. Show this board state from someone from 2010, you know? I'm from 2010. They asked, is it infinite? Well, yes, is the answer. Yeah, I do wonder if Gab is one of the people playing Living End. If it's not, then it probably wasn't a good choice. All right. So we're up a game against Boros. We want to bring in 3 snakes for 3 packs. That's been my sideboard plan for the matchup. And I don't need to play Scavenging Ooze for Flage, although honestly Ooze might be not that bad. Let's not bring it in. Okay. How do I feel like the Esper Gorios players did? I think I was not expecting nearly this much affinity, which is really bad for Gorios because they play so many Tormod scripts. But maybe it's not that bad. You can just play a lot of Wrath of Skies and stuff in the sideboard. I think you're very good against Energy. I think you're good against Broodscale as Gorios, although they do have the K commands. Maybe it's closer than I think. Probably not that good against Tron. Probably not that good against Amulet. I don't know. The thing with Gore is your deck is just so powerful. It's like your bad matchups are not bad by that much. Like it's a very like your overall win percentage is like it's so close. You probably just needed to like do a lot of internal testing and see. Has living in one at PT. I know Nassif top eighted Barcelona with it. I don't know if it's 1-1. I think Storm will top eight. Yeah, I mean, so like one thing with Storm is like, there's only 16 players playing it, but like if you're high rolling with Storm, it's just so hard to lose, and someone's gonna. So I guess it. Also, how do we feel about Eldrazi Ramp and Trudge? I guess I mean, it is kind of the same deck. It is a Myco Spawn, Ugin's Lab, Devour of Destiny deck. But 9 of these 12 players are Trudge. 11 Blink is a lot. I've won a few challenges the deck. I always feel like I had to have my opponents mess up. Yeah, I think Blink is pretty bad as well. I predict a like 45, probably less than 45% win rate on Blink. I really do not think that deck is good. On the draw against Boros, this hand has our plan. It's a little weak to like several removal spells, but most of your hands are. They have no 1-drop. Oh boy, I'm gonna put that into play. I think Gab is the one Necro player. Oh yeah, Gab might be the one Necro player. I know he likes that deck a lot. Was Gab testing with the team this year? Because like he's been streaming for a really like he was streaming like really late for someone who's going to a testing house. But I know he also like it's in this is the European one, so it may be just easier for him to show up late. So do I play the Shang-Chi? I think so. He didn't test the team. It's interesting. If I was going to enter a meta with this spread, what would I play? Probably Neoform. Like, Neoform seems so unrespected, it's crazy. Maybe. There's just like no... There's like just no force mitigations and no subtleties in the whole metagame. But maybe people are playing just a million Vexing Baubles. Didn't test the team because of the baby. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, the Brute Skull have the main deck Vexings, that's true. And then like an open deck list, you also just get to know you could like mulligan for it, maybe. So yeah, maybe it's not going to be as crazy as I think. So I imagine they're going to play in a Johnny. How does Vexing stop Neoform? It stops them from being able to cast Allosaurus Rider or also Summoner's Pact, Pact of Negation. Although one thing that's kind of interesting is if you're Neoform, it's an open decklist event. You're playing against Brood-Scale. You know they have main deck Vexing Bauble because it's an open decklist event. Ooh, High Noon. Okay, this actually is really good for me because I can just cast Snake, right? 1, 2. I mean, I could kill the High Noon, but I think I just want to cast the Snake. That makes the Shang-Chi not that good, but at least it attacks for 3, brother. I do know what Dingo's on, but I shouldn't say. You know, just even though it's open deck list, it's like it's not my position to say. It's his. Getting in there. Then we have another snake in our hand too. So yeah, so like if you're Neoform against Brood-Scale at the Pro Tour, you see your opponent has Vexing Bauble in their main deck. You just and you know they can't kill the Allosaurus Rider. So if you have Rider in your opening hand, you could just play it. If you're on the play and they can't do anything. So that is kind of an interesting dynamic. Will Brood-Scale get banned after PT? Well, the most played cards are Eldrazi Temple and Kozilek's Command. So I do wonder could I kind of am hoping Eldrazi K Command has a really good event. I think that card is the best card of the format. You could also just mulligan to Veils. I don't know if you can just mulligan that aggressively in Neoform to Veil Summer plus combo. It's like it's hard to have like a 5 or 6 card hand that can do that. My opponent cannot even bombardment here. I mean, it seems impossible for me to not cast another snake. these decks, it's so correlated to how many copies of Kozilek's Command they draw. It's like, do they draw 0 Kozilek's Command? Wow, it's really easy to beat them. Do they draw 1 Kozilek's Command? Okay, I've got my fist up and I'm having a hard time. Do they draw 2 Kozilek's Command? A lot of times it's like, wow, there was nothing I could do. They drew 2 Kozilek's Commands by turn 3. It's like, and like that dynamic really sucks. It just like against Tron and Eldrazi Ramp, a lot of times it's like, well, they just drew 2 Kozilek's Commands and I couldn't do anything. and then that's not even if they draw 3 and they also chain into each other. I think it's a problem. I think it's bad for the game. I think it's bad design when a card is that high impact. And it's also like the best you can do against it is counter it. there's not really much. I guess there's not much counterplay to it either, which tends to be bad for the game as well. I'm gonna play the Quirion Ranger for sure. I like to be on the play against Titan here. Yeah, I also have a lot of. I also think Wrath Disguise is a card I complain a lot about as well. Does this dynamic not apply for a number of cards like Wrath Disguise? I do think Wrath Disguise is way too efficient and problematic. It's a little bit different, where Wrath Disguise is good against specific things, while K-Command is always good on every turn. K-Command is literally the best card on every turn in almost every matchup. Not literally every matchup, but almost every matchup. It's the best card on every turn. It's crazy. Getting Cub seems really reasonable. It's possible you want to get Shang-Chi. I guess the problem with Shang-Chi into Enduring Vitality actually might make a lot of sense. I guess I could still go for that next turn. And it's a bit easier if I just already have Cub in play. Yeah, and then like it still can like cycle 2 for 0. I don't know. The card is crazy. Yeah, Wrath is not good on every single turn of every single game and every single matchup like Kozilek's Command is. But I do think Wrath Disguise is a restrictive card. I think it's more restrictive for little decks than Fury ever was. I think that it is like the hardest card to play around and against if you are like a little thing deck. I do think weapons manufacturing specifically has changed that dynamic some, and I think it's nice that like there's like some built-in tool and you have some counter magic, but I think it's also bad that like Boros Energy gets to play like the best sweeper in the format. Could say the same about Kappa. I don't think you could say Kappa is the best card on every single turn and every single matchup, just because like you have to have it's a payoff. You have to have enablers for it. I don't know how much you want to say like Temple and Lab are payoffs for enablers for the payoff. You could say that though. It's like K-Command is good independent of whatever else is happening. Like no matter what is happening, K-Command is just almost always the best play. They have a Dryad to get? They do have a Dryad, so we're gonna need to try to turn 3 win. Seems like they only have the Simic Growth Chamber as a land. So we have 4 mana right now. So I don't have a Dryad Arbor in my hand. I think I can. I mean, I could make infinite mana. I guess. Sorry, I just go for Ashaya. What am I doing? Oh wait, hold on. I can't just Ashaya because I'd activate the Ranger first. I should be able to win. I guess I could just Summer's Pact for Disciple of Freyalise, then make infinite mana. That's the easiest way to do it. Yeah, so I go Disciple of Freyalise, Ashaya, and then I win with Formidable Speaker. Is there a better way to do this? Should I really be thinking so much about this when I already found a way to win? I think yes. Let's just make sure we have the best. Like is Shang-Chi plus Dryad Arbor better? So if I go Shang-Chi 2 mana, Pact for Dryad Arbor, then I can still cast the Ashaya, but I have more mana next turn because it's 2/1. Sure. Oh my gosh. Fuck. Fucked it up. I don't know because for some reason I thought I could also Pact for Dryad or Impact for Ashaya. Well, learning lesson. We're gonna continue. So now I play the Enduring Vitality, and I have 6 mana right here plus the Quirion Ranger. Okay, we still win. It's fine. but a little bit embarrassing. It's okay. I mean, it's a hard deck. So I think we want to be untapping like the various creatures we have as we're going here, so that when we Craterhoof off of the Formidable Speaker, we have a bunch of untapped guys. Well, I guess how many summoning sick creatures do we have? I'm just gonna go ahead and show them the Craterhoof. This should what we've got. We have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'll show the hoof here. We can also untap things with the Formidable Speaker if we really wanted. Okay, won the game. Did not play super smooth. Gaddock Teague stops Green Sun Zenith and Scape Shifts. Not unreasonable. I definitely want to play the Chomping Changeling. The Endurance is good on their loop turns. Their loop turns are definitely slower. I'm okay with it turning off my own Green Suns probably if I'm going to Green Sun for it sometimes. I think on the draw we'll play the Endurance and then we'll reassess on the play. We'll just probably go down all the Nissas. I mean, it's mostly like the grindy card. How strong is this deck in my opinion? In the limited testing, Trudge strong or fun deck? I think it's similar power level to Trudge as far as how tough it's difficult because this like Trudge is very good and very easy to play, and I think this deck is very good and very hard to play, which also just makes it very difficult to evaluate exactly how good. All right, I think we'll put back the Teague. But this is a deck I recommend. This is a deck I think is strong. What the fuck? Hello, Leyline of the Guild Pact out of Amulet Titan. Interesting. I mean, if they boarded in Leyline Scion against me, I do not care. I have a hard time imagining this is for Valakuts. So we're going to get a Dryad Arbor. They play Nykthos. What? What? How did you know that? How did you know this? What the fuck? Reveal yourself. Who are you, really? What's your true name? Okay, land is obviously a really nice pickup there. Can I win here? So I can make 3 mana. Then I can Summoner's Pact for Quirion Ranger. Play Quirion Ranger, untap a land, cast Ashaya. But I just am casting Ashaya, having already used the Quirion Ranger. So I think I want to Chomping Changeling this turn. And blow up the Saga, maybe? Not sure. Yeah, a little weak to Pyroclasm here. We're going to take the turn off. So should have a win next turn. Just cast Ashaya, then cast Quirion Ranger, then Green Sun for whatever. Although we just have the Pact to win. Don't even need the whatever. We could even Endurance this turn and win. Well, my opponent's got, you know, I guess they have 6 mana exact. No, they have 5 mana if they play a bounce land, right? Yeah, 5. Could you pack for second Quirion? If I pack for second Quirion, I still only I have 0 mana post Ashaya. Oh wait, or did I? Because I guess I had the no. I played the Cub that turn. If the Cub had not had Summoning Sickness, then the Cub could have tapped for 3 mana. That could have gone off. Is Changeling being a hit for Nissa good or bad more often? I mean, if you're boarding it in, I imagine it would be good more often. You know, we sure talk about this card a lot. I know it's maybe kind of confusing because of the shapeshifter stuff. It's mostly here because it's a 2-1 in Reclamation Sage, or a 1-2 in Reclamation Sage is a 2-1, and there's not... You just want the creature to stay in play rather than sacrifice. Yeah, we did die in Dark Souls. It was kind of a silly. I fell off the ledge, running over to Darkroot Garden. Yeah, Rexage also hit off Nissa. But I mean, just in general, if you're going to, be playing this card, boarding it in, you probably would like to hit it off Nissa. My opponent's in the tank here. They play a Valakut, so they have 4 mana after this. So they probably have Scape Shift if they're thinking this long, and they decide not to Scape Shift. Well, I just drew Quirion Ranger. Well, that makes it easier. Do they have something? They have a Dismember, maybe? Be interesting. Weird for them to not like just Dismember my Cub. They're dead on board to the Leyline. Maybe what they have is Besage for the Leyline. They'd still be dead to that. Would Ichabod Druid be a playable cyber card? I guess I don't know the card. My opponent's not doing anything, so I'll look it up. Our opponent casts an instant or sorcery spell. Oh, they Besage the Ashaya. Cool. I didn't really remember you could do this. So I guess I'll make 6 mana in response. Do I want to get a basic forest or do I want to get a Dryad Arbor? Probably just the forest. Cool. It's a good one to know about, I guess. We should still be able to win. Although I don't have another Ashaya, I guess. Maybe that will make it hard. So if I Pact for Shang-Chi, or sorry, Green Sun for Shang-Chi, and I Pact for Springheart Nantuko, and I hit my land drop with the Quirion Ranger, then I can make infinite mana, infinite power, and then I can attack with the Arbor if I have the untapped mana. So I would use 3 down to 3. 3 down to 3. Yeah, I think I have exactly enough. Oh, I could Endurance it back. That's true. It's a bit easier. Evoke Endurance, or evoke or cast Endurance. Pact for Ashaya. The other line wins too, but this line is a bit easier. Does Craterhoof untap a creature, not kill? I have to use the creature I untap to kill with. Although I guess I could just play another Quirion Ranger, and then I'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so the Craterhoof would have 11 power, and then the other, yeah, I guess that's just got to be easier. Maybe even is Badgermole Cub better? So I can go Badgermole Cub for down to 2, down to 4. Play onto this. It's tapping for 4. Oh, then I'd still have to Quirion Ranger. I'm thinking about this too much. I can kill you. I can kill. Let's just do the endurance play. They scooped to it last time. There's just too many lethal lines. It's just probably better to pick one. So it's not going to be too tough to kill them because I'm going to have so many untapped attackers here. Do they maybe not see the ley line? $204. I'm going to keep this on the play. Opponent's still thinking here. 3-0 with Quantum Loki. Loving the deck. There's so many cards. Loving Loki. Me too. I think, honestly, I do like the Aether Vial build the best out of all of them. That build is my favorite, probably. I guess I should probably have had the Hand Hider up. It's okay. Opponent's on a mold to 6. Mold to 5. I'm going to play Leyline of Abundance and Fetch Pass. They play Polluted Delta. They crack the Delta. Overgrown Tomb. Am I going to Thought Seize me? No, they're playing Eye Twitch. Fair enough. So let's get an Arbor, and then I think I'm kind of interested. Oh, I drew Quirion Ranger. So if I go Forest, yeah, I mean I could just play Cub. Play Ouroboroid on turn 2. Seems like you should do that if you can. Although maybe I should pick up the. I'll pick up the basic Forest. Should be fine. Could play Nissa also, but I don't have a land to target with the Nissa. So I think we should just play the Snake this turn. I don't think I've seen any good games with the Nissa Planeswalker. I assume it's been good. I've liked the Nissa Planeswalker a lot. We've played many versions of this. I think she hasn't been as good today. I'll agree with that. Yeah, I guess I don't have an attacker anyways. Oh, sorry, I forgot I still had this up. Okay, they cycle Street Wraith. They're down to 13 already, and we've got a lot of power and toughness in play. They have a Phyrexian Tower. They can give -2/-2 to everything, but that doesn't do all that much. Well, they discard Archon of Cruelty. That does a bit more. So I guess I am. Let's see. I could sack the Cub, and then I could play basic Forest. I think I'm just gonna sack the Ranger probably, and then discard basic Forest. They have another play. Tap for green, untap. Thoughtseize my Nissa. Okay. Big draw. Not a big draw. So I have 4 mana I can't do anything with. Triggers and attack for 9. Your hand hider reminds me of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Makes sense. That is what it's from. I guess I probably should have grabbed the Arbor already and got the counters on it, but I'll just grab the other Arbor in response to the oh, they're blocking. They're not blocking. Okay, they go down to 5. Have you ever -8 in Nissan? I have in Standard. I don't know if I've ever done it in Modern. So I'm out of cards in hand. I am down to 7 life points. They have 5 cards in their hand. All 3 of my creatures are lethal on the attack here. This is kind of crazy to be doing this well against turn 2 Archon of Cruelty. Yeah, they should have blocked the 4/6. They could be a 10 here instead. They play a Supplier. There's not another copy of Archon in the yard, and they just pass the turn. All right, I'm going to put 4 counters on all 3 of my guys. I'm going to attack with everything. Is this deck better than Trudge? Okay, let's play a Vacuum. Let's play a Scavenging Ooze. Let's play an Endurance. And then how many Soulless Jailers do we want? They can still wish for stuff with Eye Twitch. Tajuru Preserver is actually kind of interesting because they play Flare and Archon. Probably not going to bring it in. It's kind of interesting, though. I do think this is a good Nissa matchup. I think I probably want to go down a couple packs with all their Thoughtseizes in there, Flares and pushes and stuff. I'm going to cut maybe Formidable Speaker, 3 mana Nissa, maybe 1 5 mana Nissa. Play 2 Soulless Jailers, not 3. Let's try that. If they had Persist, they could have sacked their own Archon. True. Although it's maybe not the most obvious play. I feel like, I've played a lot of Phyrexian Tower Archon decks. I don't know that I've ever done that. And maybe it's been available and I've missed it. Just don't really think about sacking your Archon that much. I've -8 Nissa in Standard. I don't think I've done it in Modern. Well, I'm going to keep this on the draw. They mull to 6. Is Amulet Titan more popular at this Pro Tour than it was the last Pro Tour? I think it is. Okay, they've got an Archon already in the graveyard, so we may... Our Jailer may be a turn too slow here. Hopefully not. Yeah, I did see that 9 Trudge players are playing or at the PT. I'm really excited. I hope that they do well. I do recommend the deck. Wow, they do just have the turn 2. This I can't beat on the draw. Let's go to game 3. I still have 4 answers around the play plus the tutor target. It's a bit easy. Maybe I want to go down on Jailer on the play. It's a little bit weird after that game, but on the play, it's like just a lot easier for me to Scavenging Ooze them. Yeah, I think I'm gonna play a 3-mana Nissa over Jailer. Also, Jailer's not that good against Emperor. Last PT, I think it was 12%. How much is it this time? I think it's less than 12%, right? It's like 9. Keep closing the breakdown. Sure. Can't really mulligan this. When are you supposed to search up Formidable Speaker? So one Formidable Speaker is just usually a good card to draw. But Formidable Speaker does a few things. The big thing is you can Green Sun for it, and you can put Springheart Nantuko into your hand, and Nantuko is a big part of your combos. It's 7% this time. Okay, so less. It was only 5% in the last PT. Oh wow. Yeah, I'd love to get that confirmed, but it would be really crazy if they banned Lotus Field and then it went up in percentage played at the next Pro Tour. We're pretty weak to a Thoughtseize. Okay. They don't mill Archon of Cruelty this time. It's nice for us. They do Cycle or Wraith. You probably should do that first. You might draw Thoughtseize next time. Yeah, you want to do that first, opponent. It's interesting to see Wraith back in the deck. I was cutting Wraiths because like everybody was cutting Wraiths, and then all of a sudden everybody's playing the Wraiths again. Do I want to Endurance? I guess I can't. I can't Endurance and evoke. I kind of want to bestow Nantuko onto Endurance. Oh right, I do get. I get an extra green. I get an extra green. So I do have the Endurance up here. So let's just hold up Endurance and then set up to hard cast or Nantuko the Endurance this game. Do I expect Boris to perform? I think probably not that well. I don't think it's a great choice. I think if you are an expert player and you have a tuned list and you draw well, you're gonna do fine. But I don't think it is gonna be that well of a performer. Not sure if you saw the breakdown. Not a single copy of Trudge. You're wrong. There's the 9 of the they say in the article 9 of the Eldrazi ramp players are playing Trudge. Thought they might attack with the supplier there. Kind of interesting that they didn't. So we want to attack with Endurance. Maybe they'll chump block, and then the Nantuko will be good second main phase. Wraith makes sense if they run Baron. Well, it's for Crypt of Agadim. But for Baron Zemo, just for the symbols. I guess that's true. So they get a copy of Origin of Metal Bending to destroy my Leyline or my Nantuko. So if I play this Leyline, then I can go bestow. I think I do just want to bestow and make a copy here. Have to do it main phase, but it's okay. And if they kill it, then I have this token and I just have a lot of mana and I sink the mana into ley lines or whatever I draw. Yeah, it's a bit weird that they lumped it together with Eldrazi Ramp, but I think they kind of needed to do that to get it to the front screen of the data. I think it's okay. I wasn't really expecting anybody to play it. I did recommend it a lot. I hope whoever registered it did play test a lot with it. Because there is a big difference in between what I do and Pro Tour prep. Like you have to internally test hundreds of matches with a team with what your expected meta is versus what the Magic Online meta is like. It is just a different experience, but I hope I would imagine whoever picked it did do enough testing to determine that they liked it. Maybe a little risky to attack into the suppliers. Although, okay. Do I just wait a turn? I mean, it doesn't really seem to matter if they Archon of Cruelty me. think the Boros land destruction decks are actually good or players taking a shot. They're totally fine. Like you have very polarized matchups. Like you're very good against Affinity and Boros, and I think you're good against Prowess, and you're very weak against like Amulet, Titan, Storm, Neoform game one, and then you have a lot of sideboard cards for those matchups. It's a totally fine deck. It is won a lot of events, yeah. What are we doing here? Okay, we're just gonna throw an Overlord at me and then die on the backswing. Is land destruction really weak versus Titan? Maybe the matchup's not as bad as I think. Like just usually like the Price of Freedom decks have not been that good against Amulet. It probably is actually fine against it. Post Lotus Field ban. I think if Lotus Field were still legal, then it would be a bad matchup. And maybe I'm a little biased thinking of it still. I'm not actually sure how the matchup is. Thinking about it some more. Okay, then they have a flare, sure. Aren't they just dead? So I draw Shang-Chi, which is mana neutral, because it's going to tap for 2 regular mana with haste. It does not tap for abilities of Leylines, unfortunately. So this is 2, 3, and this is... I would have to tap another a halfling to... I mean, hold on, there's block here. Okay, they're just dead. What am I doing? They're just dead. Let's attack. Maybe it's like play draw dependent with Titan too. It's definitely unfavored, but you can win if they don't go fast enough. Unfavored for who? The Titan or who is favored in the matchup? Okay, so we're on the draw against Kihira. Let's keep. Calling it arguably just means it's true. Interesting take. So probably against Ponza. Think I need to just go Forest Halfling. And honestly, it means just kind of good too if they erode this. But this is a hand that really wants an alive Dryad Arbor. So we are playing against Ponza. Historically been a good matchup. I'm pretty sure I played against it in testing. How do we want to do this? We could go... I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 2 mana. Guess I'll tap this for Legends. Let's go untap the Halfling. Let's see if they path this in response. They do. Erode. So I was going to go play Shang-Chi, then tutor up Dryad Arbor. It's okay. I'll just let this die. Play the Shang-Chi. Pass. Love to get my Mana Dork eroded. Have 5 more basics in the deck. I play a copy of Sunken Citadel. So I draw a forest for turn. So we should be able to try to combo off, right? I'm gonna play forest. I'm gonna play Badgermole Cub. Oh, shoot. That was my land drop. For the... I was trying to bestow Nantuko onto Dryad Arbor with Shang-Chi and Cub out. I mean, it seems like my opponent just has removal anyways. But I don't think I can get the landfall trigger. And if I bestow Nantuko onto the basic forest, it won't be entering as a creature. But if they just erode my Shang-Chi, that's fine, I guess. I guess I'll just make the mana, make them think maybe I have something for this. Just a bluff. So get a tapped forest, and then... This is going to be an awesome matchup for the Nissa, by the way. So this is 2 mana. I think we just cast the Nissa. A little bit awkward to go down this many lands in play, but I feel like the Nissa is just such a hard card for them to beat this early. I guess they could, and they've already used 2 erodes. So let's go attack for, and then we also have the Nantuko to maybe combo off with it. I probably should wait on the Nantuko, right? For next turn. Can use Quirion Ranger to counter wildfires. That's true, yeah. This matchup should be quite good. I think Trudge. I think it's good to compare this deck to Trudge. Like they're doing a lot of the same things. But compared to Trudge, I do think you have a good maybe a better Ponza matchup. Okay, so this does kill my forest, but I think we just want this to come back to play. But we'll bounce this forest back to our hand. Obviously, a very good Wrath Disguise. Although next turn we can just make infinite forests. Could have made infinite forest that turn. How do we make infinite forest? Because how do we get the landfall trigger to start the loop with Nantuko? I didn't see it, but sometimes this deck is hard and you just don't see it. So my opponent killed a bunch of my stuff, but now we get to go float the mana, untap, bestow. Dryad Arbor for landfall of Greensand. Ah, that's what I missed. Okay, thank you. This deck is so tough. I think this deck is the hardest deck I've ever played on stream, which is very fun. It may actually be the hardest deck in Modern's history. Maybe KCI. I can see KCI being tougher. This is a very, very funny thing to do against Ponza, by the way, is make infinite forest tokens. Maybe I should have. No, I couldn't get a Nantuko and play first. I'm happy to do this for a little while, as this is therapy. Therapy for all of the games we've had to play against Ponza. And every time you do a little bit of psychic damage against them, too. I don't actually need this many. We'll stop in a second, it's fine. Oh, I don't know, I could draw a Leyline. Let's just enjoy this for a minute. It'll be so funny if they cast Price of Freedom after this, dude. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. It is very funny. Last turn, my opponent like got a 4-for-1 and blew up so much mana. Wait, doesn't this tap for 2? How did I pay this for? Oh, okay, this taps for 2 also. That's why. It is so funny to have 32 or 33 forests in play against Bonza, against Field of Ruin. And we should just be able to Craterhoof them here. I don't understand how that works. Okay, so Springheart Nantuko is copied a animated forest here. When a land triggers, you can pay 2 mana to make a copy of the enchanted creature. The enchanted creature is a forest. It doesn't enter as an animated forest, it enters as a regular forest. Nissa has a static ability that makes forests able to tap for an additional green. So every time you make a forest, it enters untapped. You make 2 green, you make another one. And you just make infinite tapped forests. Okay, so a matchup where you just want to bring in this. I guess you want 1 Chomping Changeling for some of their sideboard cards and 2 snakes. 2 more snakes. Do I want Teague? Teague stops exactly Wrath Disguise, and they have a lot of removal for it, so I think no. And they are a Sol 2 deck, so Rokthar seems sus. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick too. Okay, we're on the draw game 2 against Ponza. They are in a Molda 6. I think on the against their Molda 6, we'll just try this one. Teague stops Roku and Karn. Well, the thing is, Teague is just very fragile against them. Also, like, they don't usually play Roku and Karn, and they usually play Roku or Karn. But they have so many good answers to Teague that it doesn't seem like I want to be like boarding it in and shutting off my own Green Sun Zeniths. Maybe we should play Disciple first. Nice to just have a pile of forest for sure. Like seeing that. So I think I just want to cast the Shang-Chi this turn and try to set up to like fetch Dryad Arbor. Oh, maybe this is gonna be tough. Because I'd like to go Nantuko into fetch Dryad Arbor, make 2 tokens, then play Enduring Vitality. But I don't have enough mana, right? I'm gonna be a mana short of doing that. Yeah, we looked at the metagame breakdown. My predictions were there's a lot more Boros and Affinity than I thought there would be. Yeah, the Tajuru Preserver is 4 living end, of course. Could have actually bounced the forest here to counter the Price of Freedom. I don't think I was supposed to, but it was on the table there. So I think I'm gonna try to play around Wrath of the Skies. So I'm actually gonna not get the Dryad Arbor here. I'm gonna play Enduring Vitality, and if this resolves, the Vitality is gonna be pretty good in play, and I can make 3 mana here. Maybe I could bestow Nantuko with this mana. Maybe I could play Formidable Speaker. What would I get off? I guess I would get Ashaya. Would I get Ashaya? Yeah, I think so. I think I would go discard Nantuko, get Ashaya. Maybe Ashaya is not right. I could also copy this next turn and get Ashaya, maybe. I think I'm gonna get a Cub, actually. Just get the mana doubler. Yeah, like Ashaya goes infinite, but it goes infinite if my opponent doesn't have interaction, and I'm just doing good if they don't have interaction. I think this turn, if they Price of Freedom a basic forest, I'll bounce it with the Ranger. I was surprised by how much Boros land destruction there was. There wasn't, I mean, how much was there? I thought there was like 9 players playing land destruction. I thought there would be more. I thought there'd be like 15-ish. Very hard to interact once the Shy's on the table. They just kill the Quirion Ranger, then it doesn't do much. Yeah, they must have some creature removal here. I mean, they could also field Ashaya. Maybe Ashaya sucks against them. You can bounce it with another Ranger sometimes. They're sandbagging the other White Saurus. Maybe. Maybe. So if I Cub target the Garden of Freyalise, they Field of Ruin in response a lot of the time. Guess I don't want that to happen. You can bounce Ashaya with Ranger. Not if you're like starting the loop and you're using the Ashaya, right? Obviously drawing the green sun is crazy here. I think we're just gonna cast Craterhoof Behemoth. They target Ranger, it returns. They target Ranger, it returns, they target Ashaya. Well, no, I activate Ranger, they respond, they target Ashaya with Field, and I can't do anything. Yeah, there's a Pro Tour starting tomorrow for we're talking about the metagame breakdown. If you Earthbend, the guard will come back to say, well, yeah, but they're gonna respawn, so that's not actually gonna happen here. Is there feels like it's probably good to play Nantuko first. Okay, Nantuko's very mana positive. The thing is, if I target the Badgermole Cub, they're going to kill the Cub in response. I don't really want that to happen. So I think I target the Springheart Nantuko. Oh, I see you're saying chat's wrong, yeah. Green Sun for Ouroboroid. I can get Craterhoof this turn and win with it. It's a bit easier through removal. I believe we'll be playing for a trophy in a moment. Might be worth considering Sylvan Safekeeper. It opens up Ashaya, Safekeeper, Badgermole lines for infinite landfall. Yeah, we could maybe think about Safekeeper. Could be trying it over the 3rd Nissa. I've always liked 2 Nissa. 3 kind of feels like a lot. Is Boros Energy or Affinity favored in that matchup? I believe that this deck is favored against both. The Ouroboroids have made me feel like the energy matchup is good. Although it's not like super good. I just feel pretty comfortable. We've beaten it at least once today. I think I'm 2-0 with it in this version. Is this Infinite Nantuko on Ranger? We don't have an Ashaya in play, so the Ranger's not a forest. I don't believe this is infinite, no. Did you expect 2026 to be the year of mono green spike? I don't try to go in with expectations. I just let it, whatever cards happen. I'm excited for some new stuff usually. Do we have infinite mana with another speaker in this board? So I don't think so, because like when you untap, when you do two speakers untapping each other, you're not making mana at any point in those untaps, right? It's very funny to be up a minute on the clock right now. Okay, so let's go make the mana, and then I think I untap itself here. And then this finally resolves, and then presumably Nantuko resolves, and then I play Windswept Heath. And now we got to remember every token that Nantuko makes is +2 mana here. So we have a lot of mana because we have the Shang-Chi Enduring Vitality combo here, plus the Badgermole. So 1, 2. I mean, these are just tap the summoning sick guys and get a Craterhoof Behemoth. See if they have reprieve. Okay, let's try this. It's a totally reasonable hand. When I was last seen playing Brood Scale, they revealed 2 Devourers. I think we played this. May have been off stream. I can't remember. Maybe I was playing Trudge, but just not a good matchup to be on the draw for. Are there any cards in Legacy you wish for Modern? Not really. Like maybe Innocent Blood, and maybe that's the end of the list. But typically, I like Legacy being Legacy and Modern being Modern, and I think Modern is more about new cards joining our old cards, and I think Legacy is a little bit more about playing those classic cards you can't play anywhere else. So like Wasteland Days, Force of Will, Brainstorm, like these are all cards I would love to see remain like in Legacy, and like that you can't play them in Modern. I would really be sad if you could play them in Modern. Okay, maybe not that sad. It's gonna be so good on the play. No Pyrogoyf. I think Barogoyf would be a fun Modern card. I think it would be worse in Modern than it is in Legacy, for whatever that's worth. They have a command here. Okay, so is that our Thought-Knot Seer? And they make 2 spawns. The best card in Modern. They have enough mana to cast Devour of Destiny maybe next turn on turn 3. Because after also killing my Mana Dork on turn 2. Barogoyf is a really fucked up card. Yeah, I just think that kind of card just has to be worse in Modern. This Mycospawn maybe? Okay, it is Mycospawn. Next one's actually not that good against me because this does come back right now. I guess I lose the Mana Dork. If I draw a land, maybe I play Enduring Vitality here. Then they cast the Stirrings after getting a Shifting Woodland. They have. So if they get a Temple, they could cast this Devour next turn. Shang-Chi's been really good, I think. Barogoyf is genuinely what I think the blue-black frog archetype is missing to be tier 1. It's interesting. Again, I haven't played much with it or against it outside of just Cube, but my experience with it in Cube is just not like not that the card is like all that strong. And I do think that just these 3 mana creatures that get like Barogoyf against Ocelot Pride and a Johnny doesn't seem like that, like it's going to be beating the Boros energy stuff all that well. And it seems like Barogoyf against like Tron and Storm and Titan just and Living End. It's like what matchup is Barogoyf good against? Maybe like Boros energy and Prowess and probably Affinity. And it doesn't seem like it just totally destroys those games either. But maybe I'm wrong. I guess it's better not to Quirion Ranger this because I'd just rather have it be back in play. They get a Saga off of this one. Then they equip a Blade. You know, if we can win this game through turn 2 K command, turn 3 Mycospawn, turn 4 Mycospawn on the play, I'm going to feel pretty good. Here we get to go Enduring Vitality, and then I have 9 mana. So I could cast Craterhoof and cast Quirion Ranger and attack with Hoof and another creature. I would have +6/+6 to all my creatures, so this would be 11 power, and then this would be 8 power. So it seems like it would not be lethal. It's pretty damn close. Do I have enough mana to... Oh, I have more mana than I thought. I guess I have enough to go Formidable Speaker for Ashaya and win. Dude, discard Craterhoof here is so funny, but yeah, this is awesome. Leyline +2 Cub, yeah. The Enduring Vitality has been very good. This was... Oh my gosh, I missed. I fucked up. No! Sorry. I guess I'm not going to say the oops. Sorry. But we should have won here. We should have bounced the Quirion Ranger, made infinite mana with all of these creatures untapped and able to attack. Oh, I guess they did have 3 blockers. We could die to a Brood Scale this turn, though. Not really dying to anything else. If they Devour of Destiny the Ashaya, we just bounce it with the Quirion Ranger. Yeah. Okay, we should be fine. They had only 2 blockers. Didn't they have 1, 2, 3? Oh, they target the Leyline. Okay. I guess that's kind of the good thing about not... Oh, like, I mean, I could bounce the Ashaya. Maybe they just knew that. Okay, so we still win. Bad misplay. We even now have a second Quirion Ranger to not likely fuck this up. You never know. Oh, they killed my Leyline. I don't have an infinite mana sink anymore. So now I have to go... Let me make sure that I can activate both here. Yeah, I can activate both. So let me go untap here, and I'll bounce the Formidable Speaker now. But I don't have Hoof anymore. That's what I would default to get. So what can we do? We can go... I guess Badgermole Cub gives me... Sorry, Nantuko on Badgermole Cub gives me technically infinite power. It's very slow, but I can Earthbend 1 on each of my creatures. I could Nantuko on Formidable Speaker. I don't have Endurance in the deck. Yeah, this should be fine. So let's go get this. Bestow here. Untap this, bounce the Quirion Ranger. Tap for mana. Play Quirion Ranger, triggered the landfall. Pay here. Grab another Nantuko. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be very slow. Is there a better way to do this? I think with the Hoof, I just have to do the very slow play. It's fine. We're playing for a trophy. I guess it was bad to play the other Nantuko, actually. Because I only want to be copying the one on the Cub. But here is the win. I Earthbend a little bit more every time to just increase the power of my guys by 1. Nantuko on Ranger? What is that? What does that do? Going to give in. Can always just bounce the speaker. That's true. Although actually it's not true because I only have 1. Oh, I guess I can bounce Can I bounce 1? So let's untap this, bounce one of the Quirion Rangers, and then yeah, I can't get a second Quirion Ranger. I can't get a second Quirion Ranger activation because I've already used the other one. My opponent is kind and they concede. Would have taken forever to click through. Would have had to really lock in. So let's bring in a Changeling and an Ouphe. Anything else? Probably not. Do you have Trample? I don't have Trample because I discarded my Craterhoof to a Formidable Speaker. Did we have 5 attackers? Yes. We could untap all of our non-summoning sick attackers with Quirion Ranger. It's easy. Can't you haste your whole board? I can give haste too. It'll just take a long time, but yes, we could win there. I wasn't worried about being able to win. I was just worried about being able to win this year. I think I'm gonna go down this Nissa. Leave 2 of these. So I got to keep this on 6. I think I put back the hoof. Find Disciple, draw to Leyline. That's not a good plan. I think. No Teague for Karn command. I don't think they play Karn. It's just yeah, it literally only subs command. And it's like it has to come down before they K command. It's like on the draw, not really fast enough. They're playing Brute Scale. This sure is a funny elf deck. You know, I think this deck is the biggest problem for Devoted Druid and Elves, is this deck is just much better than those decks. It was awesome to be turn 2 K command into kick Mycospawn, into kick Mycospawn, into Devour on the draw with a deck like this. I think, you know, we keep having games like this, and it speaks a lot to the resilience of this archetype. I guess I just have to do this. It's a bit awkward because I do really want a Dryad Arbor. I might be able to win if I draw Fetch Land. Is there a reason you choose Ooze over Curator in the sideboard and the Trudge sideboard? I just think the life gain's more important than being bigger. Maybe I just am a hater. I guess at the Trudge sideboard you have more colorless mana. Maybe that is better. I'm honestly just kind of a hater of that card, which maybe unjustly. Okay. Shang-Chi's are pretty bad this game. Okay, I'm into attack for 3. Kind of got Magic Online there. Isn't Shang Halfling mana neutral? I think that this was the best line this turn. If you found a better line, let me know. But Shang-Chi in the Halfling is minus... It's mana neutral there, yeah, sure. So Ranger, Cub, Leyline, Ashaya is infinite mana. Is that one of the mini infinites? That is one of the mini infinites. Also, Lotus Cobra or Nissa or Shang-Chi act as a Badgermole Cub with Quirion Ranger and Ashaya. Or Leyline of Abundance. Was it Nantuko on Forest Infinite? It was not, no. If you Nantuko on the basic forest, it enters as a forest and not as a mana dork. Okay, so we just need a top deck. Kind of sad we bottomed a Craterhoof with this hand. Pact of Negation, or sorry, no, Summoner's Pact. So let's cast Leyline like this. Do I have an attack? Probably have an attack with like at least this. Oh no, I don't have an attack. 2. I have not played my land for turn. This is 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, just activate again and then attack with my 4/4s into their 4/4. Why not get Arbor from Beside You? Oh, sorry, we definitely should have got Arbor from Beside You. Interesting that they blocked. Maybe they just already have the combo. Although this would be the payoff. I feel like if they had the combo, they could have gone for it last turn, right? I think so. 10. Yeah, I have lethal. Okay, we won. Great. Why did we tap Shang-Chi? We needed to tap Shang-Chi to make the 8 mana to activate the Leyline a second time, right? Okay, so we trophied this league. That's great. We did some losing earlier to like some very good draws out of Storm and Blink, but nice to get the trophy after losing playing for a trophy yesterday. I think I would like to try another league with Sylvan Safekeeper over Nissa number 3 with no other changes. No, we did lose one game that league. I can't remember what to. Maybe Tron? Shang-Chi only taps for creature bills.